Welcome back, mutants. Streebo here with you from mutantville.com. Coming to you today to talk about the upcoming Texas Chain Saw Massacre 40th Anniversary 4K Restoration. For those of you who may not know, the original film stock was discovered. The original film elements were discovered in the early 90s in a brown paper bag in the New Line vaults. Dark Sky Films undertook a series of transfers and restorations and has been working on completing this 40th anniversary restoration. So far, this is the only transfer of the Texas Chain Saw Massacre to go back to the original 16mm AB rolls and have all the audio and digital color grading and supervision done by Toby Hooper. So that alone is completely awesome. The film itself should be a perennial Halloween favorite. It's one of the scariest, freakiest movies of all time. I'm talking about it because of a couple reasons. Number one, the Back Alley Film Series is going to be hosting a few screenings of it here in Charlotte, which I'm super excited about. Thank you guys at BAFS. You guys always bring in the best films. They're gonna have screenings on October 23rd and October 27th. If you want to know more about that, check out backalleyfilmseries.com. That's their website, and then go check out the screening. I'll be there, so if you see old Streebo, say, hey, what's up? And I also wanted to share a little bit of just kind of some personal stories, anecdotes, I guess, if you will, because I had the pleasure of meeting the lovely Miss Marilyn Burns one time. Here is my signed 8x10 that I got from her at Horror Find 2007. And there's a picture of me with her. Old Streebo at his doughiest at the time, probably my fat assness of my fat assness of the time. Thankfully, I've lost weight since then. But what can you say about Marilyn? In my mind, she'll always be the ultimate scream queen, which some people might think is an odd thing to say because they think that kind of scream queen designation is, number one, only applied to actresses in like the 80s, or number two, to actresses that have done, tons of horror films. And Marilyn, only did a handful of movies. Her performance in the Texas Chain Saw Massacre is just second to none. I mean, I think it's the greatest scream queen on-screen, slasher victim performance ever. Her screams are they're almost palpable. I mean, you can feel them. Her terror is so real. Her reactions are what makes the surreality of the infamous dinner scene in Texas Chain Saw Massacre really come to life. And even by the end of the film, you're just hearing her scream upon scream upon scream upon scream upon scream. And really, her scream becomes the soundtrack of horror for the end of the movie of Texas Chain Saw Massacre. When I met her at the Horror Find, I did my thing that I always do. Hey, I'm a fan. I loved your performance and this and this and this and whatever. And then I go into, well, I'm aspiring to be a filmmaker, and I'm making my own slasher films or this or that. At the time, I was working on C for Chaos, and I asked her if I could interview her for YouTube, and she was willing to do it, but she said, I have to check with my agent first. And she went back and checked with her agent, and the agent said no. Now, this might have been a nice way for her to let me off the hook and just decline me, but she was so forthcoming and so friendly and just so giving of her time that I felt like she did want to do it. But we got to talking about filmmaking, and she talked to me about working with female actresses, and her advice to me was really very, very simple. And she said, when you work with actresses, she says, don't start their intensity low and try to build them up. She said, try to start them at the top and then work their way down. And I always try to think of that advice when it's applicable, of course. And she was just a really, really sweet lady, really nice, and very gracious with her time. And this was back when you could get a signed 8x10 and then get a picture taken. There I am giving a thumbs up. You always have to do something in a picture. It's so goofy. Such a strange culture. I'm not an autograph hound, autograph collector. I'm not a star effort. For the most part, if I meet an actor, I generally just tell them I'm a fan of something, but I always try to to engage in a creative dialogue and exchange of ideas of sorts, because I mean, we don't, myself personally in North Carolina, I don't have access to all these great actors or directors or writers or what have you. So when I meet them at a convention, that's usually my only chance to actually talk to them. And by doing this, I've been able to meet a lot of great, very talented individuals, whether they're actors, writers, or directors, what have you, over the years, and get some advice from them. And that's just me. That's how I do my thing. And Marilyn was a really, really sweet lady, and her performance in Texas Chainsaw Massacre is it's iconic. I mean, it's really second to none. Thought it was nice that she was able to make some little bit of homages to her own performance, because she was in she made a cameo in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation as Patient on the Gurney, so that kind of placed that film in that the greater TCM storyline. I thought that was great. And then she even came back for Texas Chainsaw 3D, which a lot of people really hated for some reason. But she had to play a role in that. So it was good. So it's all good. She was a fantastic actress, and seemed to be a consummate professional and one of the all-time great scream queens. And it's very sad when she passed away in August. I've been wanting to do a video about it, and I just haven't had a chance. Been having a lot of YouTube problems with YouTube eating videos and whatnot. So just wanted to put this out there for her. Rest in peace, Ms. Burns. You were a great talent, and you will definitely be missed, but your contributions will live on forever in cinema. And I plan to be there to enjoy it yet again with another audience in Charlotte on October 23rd or the 27th. I won't be there for both of them, but maybe one of them, or at least one. Hopefully the 23rd. And I'm going to check out that 40th anniversary 4K restoration, courtesy of our friends at the Back Alley Film Series. And you should too. And if you dig those guys and you dig what we're doing at MVP, help us out. Buy a t-shirt, buy a DVD, Tales from Mutantville on Amazon.com. If you like our t-shirts, you can get a Mutisha t-shirt from T-Shirt Joe over at FastCustomShirts.com. Tell them Streebo sent you. And that's all for now. See you next time, guys.